These ain't glorified gang or prison stories, man. These is lived experiences. Welcome back to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here at this roundtable amongst my roundtable family. Salute to everybody that was able to catch this live and direct. You feel me? As it's happening, most definitely salute to those of y'all that's able to catch up to it a little bit later. I understand people got things to do. Prioritize as you should. Salute to you when you are able to catch this though. Now look, before I jump into what I jump into, please allow me this opportunity now to ask, if you haven't already did it, to like, comment, share, and most definitely subscribe to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. I would greatly appreciate it. It won't cost you nothing. I promise you, it won't charge you a dime. It just helps us get further into the algorithm, and as we climb further into the algorithm, by you becoming part of this roundtable family, y'all take that journey with us. Y'all go on the whole full ride with us. You feel me? And again, it won't cost you nothing. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell as well. So when we do these lives, you feel me? Or I just drop a random video, man, you'll be right there front and center for it. You won't miss a beat on nothing. They will notify you immediately. And again, subscribe if you haven't already did it. Salute to those of y'all that are part of the family. Hey man, y'all know what we about over here. I always encourage participation, so feel free to jump in the chat, please, humbly, respectfully. You feel me? And address the roundtable family. That's what we about over here. You feel me? And we don't always have to agree on everything, so we don't have to turn everything into an argument, and we definitely don't have to approach each other as foes, because we're not. We're grown folks here that's here to uplift the people. You feel me? And part of today's message definitely has to do with the upliftment of not just the people, but of communities, of all sections, of all states, all across the world, point blank, period. You feel me? So look, as of late, I have been seeing more and more people jumping out there, right? Basically crucifying the elder gods that may still have connections to this gang culture, right? And the crucifying comes with these guys, these critics. That's what I'm gonna call them, because everybody is entitled to criticism, especially if you putting yourself out there as a public figure, right? You're open game for all types of criticism, whether it be true or false, right? Here at this round table, right, we stand on truth. We never bring anything false. We question anything before it's completely and fully embraced, right? Like, you really have to convince us. Now look, I seen this one guy jump in a comment section, called me, said that I was institutionalized, right? Said that I was institutionalized because I respectfully and humbly gave my testimony to a lifestyle that I've lived all my life, right? And before I was living it, there was people before me that was living it. That was like right there. It was all up in your face, just in the lifestyle that I grew up in. Now, whether this person that called me institutionalized ever grew up in that lifestyle or not, right? Whether you can relate. See, and that be the problem that I be having with a lot of people that don't come from that lifestyle, right? And it's okay to question things if there's something that you may not understand. It's okay to question it. However, to just put a seal on a person's character by categorizing them as being institutionalized, right? And mind you, this is one criticism on one video from this one guy, not on several other videos, right? This is one person on one video, right? So that tells you that this person hasn't took the opportunity to become familiar with the person that he's calling institutionalized, right? And if you are a person that don't come from that lifestyle, sir, if you've never been through the system, right? If you didn't grow up in relations to the person that you're calling institutionalized, right? Then you do not fit the qualifications to express such harsh criticism, because that's the same thing that all these other dudes is doing, right? That call themselves whether it's aging out the game or whatever type of discharge any of these guys may have had, right? Whether it was good or bad, but they find themselves out the game, and it happens, right? Bam. But some, not all, some would turn around and say that it's the OG's fault for this, and that happening that's going bad in the communities. These same guys, right? Now, not only are they doing that, but they're also campaigning that to the fullest, right? And giving no solution on how to correct anything that they pointing these gang members out for, right? All I hear is campaigning. You have one guy that said that he would spare no expense on exposing all the bad things about gangs. He didn't say I would spare no expense at trying to help people that's in that gang get a better understanding of the world outside of that culture. I will help them understand that life is bigger than that. You feel me? No, you don't want to utilize your resources for that. You want to utilize your resources driven by a broken heart and emotional outburst to expose gangs, dirty little secrets, as to taking them resources, utilizing it to not push all that hatred that you're driven by to expose it, but rather having some sense of pride about yourself and where you come from, where you was born, grew up, where you was nurtured and loved and understood and accepted, right? Taking them resources and trying to help build. We not hearing that. All we hearing is campaign against this lifestyle for whatever these guys, a lot of them have personal reasons for having this destructive pattern. And you have to look at it as destructive for the simple fact of this, right? The people that is still tied into that life, and what's being pointed out is the elders. This is who everybody is trying to shift all the blame on, the elders, right? People like myself, right? I get pointed out as a angry, politicking, dirty politicking, and institutionalized, right? This is how a person like me get painted out, just for simply pointing out all factual things that can't nobody come and dispute, right? Whether it be a person that's still in the game or out, right? I don't come to campaign and be driven by a broken heart and bitterness. You feel me? So there's no possible way that anybody out there can get out the game and then turn around and say that it's the OG's fault for this, and that. And your whole drive and campaign is driven by your own personal reasons. Every man has his own personal reasons for his drive and his devotion behind his drive and whatever he's presenting to the public, especially on a platform. For some more fortunate with bigger platforms, bigger audiences, that's going to be taking these things in that's spewed out by these people that have bad intentions hidden up under their messages, and turn around and say a person like me that ain't never broke no laws, went in no way, shape, form, or fashion against any of the laws, or anything. You feel me? In relation to the game, period. Right? Never, no violations. Stuck to the script on every level. Right? But you have people that's actively campaigning saying that I am the one, and people like me, because we tell people we not telling our young homies that it's cool to go over to a yard that we know it ain't cool. We the bad guys because we tell them, like, look, if you by chance do so happen to go over there, this is what's expected of you. Either you're gonna do this or you're gonna do this. And whichever decision you choose to make after these options are given to you, at the end of the day, that's on you. At the end of the day, that's on you. You cannot say that these options was not given to you. So because I come and I present it that way, these other guys that has these big platforms that has made a nice career by perfecting the art of jumping behind the camera with these honest faces, you feel me, with all these tattoos all over them, they ugly, you feel me, and they still look like they could be in the game because they still got that shady look. But at the end of the day, no, they're really a police. Uncut, infiltrated the game, went as far as getting those tattoos, with developing all that ugly, right? And infiltrated the game. Went in and took his bumps and bruises, how he took them. Exited out the game forced with a dishonorable discharge. And this is just not one person. This is all the people, right? All the people that's out there saying that I am the piece of shit when I ain't violated nothing. I just stuck to the script, respected the game like the next man did. I considered myself to be a real gang member. Them were the ones that I was around. Them the only ones that I was around. Real gang members. Those that was banging like probably 3 or 4 times harder than me. From everywhere though. And no, this ain't glamorizing that shit. See, this is something that a lot of these critics would absolutely try to take and pick apart. Like, look, he's this old and he's still talking about this life like he's glamorizing it. You know what I'm saying? And he wants the kids to look at that and think that is cool. And you know that ain't what this is at all. So let me go ahead and throw that disclaimer out there too. You feel me? What this is giving true testimony from a person that's still in that lifestyle. For those of y'all that's in the chat that's questioning if I'm in prison, incarcerated, yes I am. Welcome to the round table. Salute to all of y'all, man. You feel me? Hopefully y'all become part of the family by subscribing first and foremost. You feel me? But again, salute. But yeah, man, but you have these people that's actively campaigning out there right now. Some is gang members and is considered to be active gang members, right? And then some is active PCs, right? I'm just calling the ball a ball, a strike a strike. This is not an attack, bullying, harassing, none of that. This is for educational purposes only, right? Me educating these people that's trying to point the finger and say that people like myself want to see the young youth catch these cases, come to prison, go put in work so they can get to a level 4 so they won't be looked at as a piece of crap for going to a 50-50 as these guys are actively campaigning for these kids to do. But I'm the one that's looked at as wrong when I'm like, nah, that's not cool. Because in the same sentence, y'all telling them, y'all can go over there, but don't go to the level 4. You telling them don't go where I'm at. Don't go, don't, y'all can go to the 50-50. But don't go over there and mess up, because they're gonna send you over there to that level 4. They saying that if you go over there and you mess up on the 50-50, they're gonna send you over here where I'm at on a level 4 general population mainline yard. Right? That's where where they trying to move the goalpost back right there. Because when they get to that part right there, this is when they telling them. This is where the campaign and all this shit start coming into play, right? This is what they are actually telling the youth about the OGs that is on the level 4 yards, right? Right now, right? Where I'm at, right? Don't go over there because all niggas do is politic and this and this and that is gonna happen to you. Right? This is what is being said about the OGs that is on the level 4 general population mainline yards by some active gang members and a whole bunch of PCs. Right? And in their message, they mix in, see, all they do is they glamorize all this stuff about prison and gangs and this and that. Well, I can't speak for everybody else. I can definitely speak for this round table. And I can most definitely speak as a person that is actively on a level 4 general population mainline yard right now. Right? That I've always said I don't want nobody going and jeopardizing their freedom and their safety to prove that they have to be relevant, to be part of something, you know, to be accepted, and you don't have to do that. We always encourage the youth or whoever need to hear that it's always a better option. Just because you see these people over here doing it, don't mean it's a good fit for you. Just because you got somebody that's related to you that might be doing it, making it seem like it's good, it might not be a good fit for you. You feel me? Like anything can happen. Don't you know, everybody's fate is not the same. You feel me? It just ain't. So that's why if you ain't part of it, don't become part of it, because you don't have to be, you know, part of no gang to be relevant in life. Take that from a person that still has his attachments to that life, to that culture, and who's also in prison right now, who's been in prison for the last 31 years. That's another thing that I always point out to the people, right? The time that I've been in prison, 31 going on 32 years now, straight. I didn't get to go home and come back in. Nah. You don't, that ain't how it works. Once you get in prison and you locked inside that cell, you locked inside that cell for however long, however many years they say that you got to do. For however many life sentences that they give to you. However many, because they don't give out just one life sentence. You can get multiple life sentences depending on the severity of the crime that you commit. They can wash you up and throw away the key. And I always hear how a lot of these young dudes don't care about getting life no more because life ain't life and this and that. Well, hey, let me tell y'all this. They might not care, and you probably do got them out there like that, right? But it don't get no realer than when you sitting it start once you're thrown in them handcuffs and they walking you to the back of that police car. That's where it started at first, right? Bam, that's where it started, right? Then bam, then then you taking that ride from wherever they put them handcuffs on you to whatever police station. But all the streets they taking, you know these streets. Like, damn, I used to try to dodge some of these streets, and this one used to be one of my main little routes, and you all this is you like, damn, what, am I gonna get back to this ever? Am I ever gonna see these streets? This is what's going through your mind because you know what they charging you with. You know what you up against. You feel me? How many people can say that? You know, and that's not the glamorization of nothing. That's walking you through the steps of those of y'all that don't give a f about getting locked up for a hot one and all that, right? Well, that's the steps of what you gonna be feeling and seeing and thinking all in one motion. You feel me? All in one motion, man. And then once you in there, you in there. You get found guilty and they give you however much time. Once you in there, you in there. You feel me? And then, hey, what we stepped in at is giving you like the full blueprint to everything from your decision making. That's where you gonna have to grow up and be a grown man as much as you possibly can, right? If you're not already on that level, right? Try to develop some sort of understanding in these crucial moments and these crucial times of your decision making on where you're gonna program at, how you're gonna program, and who you're gonna be willing to program around. Right? But here it is. You have these guys that's campaigning, saying that people like myself that's willing to step up and make y'all aware on all the scopes, all the levels, right? No matter which side. Y'all don't hear me coming and campaigning against, these PCs like that. What you hear is me making available the appropriate information that the people is gonna need. So when you do hear these dudes jump on these big platforms and you feel me, they done practice that look. They got them tattoos all over the place, ugly, with the big hats, right? When you see them getting interviewed and they sitting there trying to look as honest as they can, right? Like they still have some type of attachment to the game, but they hate the game, and you feel me? And then you hear their story. Well, I'm here to educate the people the correct way. And also, as in part of that education, because when we come to this round table, we are all here to learn, including myself. So the question is thrown out there, and it will continue to be thrown out there, right? As long as these guys want to jump out there and continue to point the finger at a person like me who's never broke no laws. And no, I'm not saying that bragging about anything in regards to prison and gangs. I'm just saying there was things that you was expected to uphold, right, and honor. Don't it wasn't no half as doing this. You feel me? It wasn't. It just wasn't. And I wasn't around people that was just half as doing it. I was around some real active members from everywhere who are now elders in their own right and has a whole different way of looking at the game, which I find so wonderful and fascinating. You feel me? Shout out to my bro, Baby Spike, A-Trey Gangster, right? Bro just reached out to me. I haven't seen Baby Spike since we was in Calipatria Hole in damn, I was in and out of there so many times. So was Baby Spike, right? A real guy, was a real member, a real man, stood on business, uncut with the business, right? That's what I got to say about him. That's what I know Baby Spike, you know, for being. And I was around him. People, that's what I'm saying. People that was banging on a whole different level. He was one of them. It was many of them. It was many of them. You had him. You had Coach Zoe from Raymond. You had oh my God, La La from East Coast, Sparks from Raymond. My homie, rest in peace, Stack a Dollar, Gangster Tick. Big Trigger Bird from Hoover, Gumby from Hoover, Devil rest in peace from Hoover, fuck Beast, Beast. It's so many more that hey, bro. Like it's ridiculous. Like, and this is just in one prison. This is just one prison, right? All these guys is respectable gentlemen that is at now out, right? I can't look at none of them and say, hey, it was their fault that my way of thinking is the way that it is. How? How do they become the ones that's wrong when they did every single thing right, as far as, you know, all the everything, man, as far as everything, right? That made it through the struggles of prison, went through what they had to go through and made it out. And now it's free. You feel me? Now it's free. And it's crazy too, cause once broke, Baby Spike hollered at me. I went and he got a YouTube page, man. So make sure y'all go to his YouTube page and subscribe to Baby Spike, man. I might put it in the in my community chat later, his link to his page. But to hear, because I had the chance to go look at a couple of his videos, right? And it's like spot on as far as because you know guys. You know what I'm saying? You know guys, man, and to see the growth from what you are used to them seeing, you feel me, to where they are at right now in life is crazy. But right on point. And you feel me? I'm not surprised by none of these guys, you know, that has the ways of thinking that they have. That's a fact. Right? Guys that I know personally, bro. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me see. Let me get to some of these messages real quick. Shout out to everybody, man. Damn, that's a lot. Okay, let me see. Bobby J, what's up, Brody? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. To my love and respect to you. Jake Brown, what's up, Brody? Salute, salute, salute. Send all my love and respect to you. As always, King Grover, what's up, Grove? Send my love and respect to you as always. Glad you was able to make the live. Brody Wizard, what's up, bro? I send my love and respect to you as always, man. You feel me? Love you and Australia. Salute, salute. Artifact Course, what's up, bro? Send my love and respect to you. Glad you was able to make the live as always, Brody. You feel me? Miss Golden, my beautiful woman. Send my love and respect to you as always. Salute the queen. Salute the queen. You feel me? Love and respect for you always, woman. Guerrilla Warfare, what up, Brody? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you as always. Miller 4057, salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Welcome back to the round table. Send my love and respect to all of y'all, man. Lamaj the real Israel. He say, you in prison, cuz? That's what's upset Hustle did. Yeah, I'm in prison, Lamaj, the real Israel. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. No reparations, no vote. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you as always, Brody. Rolling on hundreds. He said, how long you been down, OG? I've been down going on 32 years now, Brody. Rolling on hundreds. Almost going on 32 years now, bro. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live, though, Brody. J-Dub, what's up, bro? Send my love and respect to you as always. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Salute to everybody. Salute. Cuz 3X, what's up, sis? Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you as always. Salute to you. Rolling on 100 say, how do you feel about homies been down over 20 years and up for parole with no smut, no bad paperwork, and being contributing to the political structure whose points drop? Just want an honest. How do I feel about homies been down over 20 years and up for parole? If they are up for parole, then that's a blessing. I feel that's a wonderful blessing. They should pursue their parole. If they are up for parole, hell yeah. Anybody that's up for parole. Do you mean on the main line or do you mean on the PC? Or like, how is you trying to question that, Rolling on Hundreds? You said you want an honest answer. I want to try to understand that question so I can answer it, as honest as I possibly can. Hope they prepared, said winning circle. That's right, Brody. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect as always. Rolling on Hunters say people speak on things they will never understand. Rolling on Hunters say I know Spike. Yeah, that's bro, man. Rolling on Hunters say he killed his cellie in Centinela by accident. Oh, he say Lala just went home. Okay. From Slain, Tony Outlaw from Watergate, Blackjack 111, Bounce of East Coast, Mad Dog 60s, Baby Dog, Menlo. We naming all kind of people in here. BD from your hood. The list goes on. Keep pushing forward and speaking real nigga truth. Hey, Rolling on Hunters. Hey, man. Hey, you know a lot of real ones. I see that, man. Salute to you, man. Hey, I'm glad you was able to make the live, Brody. You feel me? And I appreciate the encouraging words. I most definitely, I'm most definitely gonna stay focused on delivering the real every time. You feel me? Because how can I not? You feel me? And I swear, like. When I went and I checked out Baby Spike video, I'm like, this is everything that I've been saying. Bro, it's saying the same thing. Like, but again, I'm not surprised by that. You feel me? Because it's a whole bunch of us that has the same ideologies that has been in the game and through the system. And what better qualifiers of the people that was really like knee deep up in it? That's what I'm saying. Like contributing back in this way and in this fashion that I'm able to contribute back to all communities, not just mine. I can't say that I just love out here when I want these videos to affect everybody. Everybody. It ain't just about us, it's everybody. As y'all can see, shit, we got people at this round table from everywhere, from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? Crips, Bloods, Southern Hispanics, you name it, whites, you name it, we got it. And that comes from us being accepting of, people, whoever, whatever difference you bring it, but you help us, we help each other to understand these differences that we may have from one another. You feel me? So if I can understand this with you and embrace you like this, I most definitely can do that with other people out in the world and in the community. That's what it's about. It's about creating bridges and not, trying to separate. It's been enough separation. You feel me? Fred Robertson said, when you get out, hey, when I find that out, Fred Robertson, I promise you, we all gonna know at the same time here at this round table. I promise you, Brody. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live too. Jay Money said, glad to have made the live. Can you speak on black unity within inside? Jay Money, salute. Glad you was able to make the live. He said, can you speak on black unity within the inside? Black unity is always encouraged, right, on the inside. Which is why I say, I mean, you always gonna have little things that happen here and there, right? But for the most part, that's why you don't have the disrespect. You don't have dudes running around just because y'all hoods is worn and beefing on the street. Don't mean you finna conduct yourself like that in here, because we are all caught up in the same struggle. And the objective is to get out. That we've already messed up to the point of as grown men, to the point where we are here. Now that we are here, for the bullshit that may have got us here when in our younger years, it grows you up. It's a different way of living. You feel me? You can't run. You can't run from nothing. Everything has to be, addressed right then and there, right on the spot. Do you feel me? No matter what it is. That's just realism. That's what life is. So to prevent all the wars and the inner turmoil and all that shit, everything is just based around respect. So it's not out the normal to see Crips and Bloods hanging with each other and eating together and doing whatever together. You know what I'm saying? Playing basketball and football and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that I see that all the time. You wouldn't even, if you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other unless you hearing them talk. Shit. You feel me? Raymond Roscoe say peace and blessings to you, bro. First time in your chat. Hey, Raymond Roscoe, hey man, salute. Glad you was able to make it, bro. You feel me? You are most definitely welcome here at the round table. You feel me? Welcome to the family. Salute, 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 Brody. All love, all respect. Jared Law said, what it do, peeps? We need you home soon. Stay safe for me. Hey, Jared Laws, hey, I appreciate that, man. We trying to make that happen, bro. You feel me? We definitely on the heels of it. It's just the waiting process now. You feel me? It's a waiting process. Just like how I was telling y'all, every time when the Menendez brothers case went up, mine followed right behind. So every time they shit got pushed back, mine, I knew it was getting pushed back, and it most definitely did. So everything that fell in the wake of them fell in the wake of me too. You feel me? Because our cases was within the same time frame, and it's out here in California. Rolling on Hunters say, I really feel y'all that's been down that long deserve to go home, especially the righteous. Hey, I feel like I feel the same thing, Rolling on Hunters, right? I feel that towards, the people that I know for a fact that has been down, right, 30, 40 some years. You feel me? And you see dudes now in their elders. You feel me? Now, I've met a lot of these dudes when they was in their prime of gang banging, like in early 20s, middle 20s, early 30s and shit, right? Now dudes is like in their 60s, late 50s and 60s and shit. The dudes that was young when I came in. You feel me? Now all gray hair and some got canes and shit. Like it's a trip. And it seemed like it was just yesterday these dudes, all of us, had no gray hairs and we was all young. All of us. It seemed just like yesterday, I swear. It's a cold mind fuck. Excuse my language, but that's just the best way that I can describe it to you, if only you can imagine. Seeing people young, one, and it seemed like it just happened yesterday. We just all aged fast. And next thing you know, 30 years done went by that fast. Right? I see it all the time. I'm around dudes and we've been knowing each other for years. You feel me? It's a trip. That's why I be tripping when people was pointing the finger at the OGs that ain't never broke no rules or nothing. We just trying to make y'all aware of every aspect of the game. Y'all only want to be selective when it comes to aspects of the game that you're supposed to know everything about. The good and the bad, everything. You feel me? Rolling on Hundreds say, just know us real ones stand beside you. Hey, man, salute for that, Rolling on Hundreds, man. I appreciate that. You feel me? And as you stand beside me, I stand beside all of y'all. That's what we do here at this round table. You feel me? Straight up. That's what we do, man. And we come to, and we make people aware, of all aspects of the game. Not just when I come and I talk about, I give y'all different aspects about the general population, level 4 yards, right? I keep it real about it. Just like I do with the SNY PCs. I keep it real with both. You feel me? I keep it real with both. Just like how people were saying, oh, they way more cracking on the SNY PC yards than it is the general population. Did I lie? I said, you're absolutely right, they are. That's a fact. And I also kept it real by educating the people, by letting them know, being that is a fact, this is why. They live by no rules, no regulations, no guidelines, no code of ethics, no nothing. You feel me? All the things that I have pointed out about the people that occupy that space on those yards, right? In the game of what we swore into, what we were supposed to be against. Just imagine. Y'all have to use y'all imagination, right? Just imagine, how much do y'all really love y'all kids? If all my peoples out there, if y'all got kids, look at y'all wonderful kids, no matter the age. Look at them. Look them in their eyes. And then ask yourself, could I ever be around somebody that would have taken advantage of this person that I created and brought into this world, could I ever be around somebody that would have taken the opportunity to hurt my child in the most horrible way that you can imagine, right? Would I be able to be around these people and be cool with them? Like nothing ever happened? Or around a guy that may have, I know y'all got sisters, y'all got mothers, nieces, right? Women in your family that you love and care, grandmothers, right? A person that would jump out the crevices of a tree or a bush in the thick of the night and try to snatch up your mom's sister, niece, auntie, right? And do horrible things to them against their will, right? And again, YouTube, let me make this clear. In no way, shape, form, or fashion is this a form of bullying, harassing, or targeting. These videos are for educational purposes only, right? And we're here to educate the people about the SNY PC yards, right? Because the relevancy of it is you have active gang members that are telling the youth in the world, in society, some of these guys are old head OGs, but some have reputations, right? That is actively telling these kids, go here, but go over there, don't mess up, because if you mess up, they're gonna send you over here. Now, when they say over here, they're pointing to where I'm at, and they're telling the youth that I'm the piece of shit, right? The guy that has broken no laws, rules, or guidelines, or none of that. I'm the piece of shit. But you're telling them to go over here where but we were sworn to protect the women in our communities. All of them. We were sworn to protect the elders in our communities, all of them. We were sworn to protect the children in our communities, all of them. That's what it's all supposed to be about, right? And everything that I just named that we were supposed to hold in high regard of protecting, right? Everything that's against that holds itself against all the things that I just pointed out, is over there on that 50/50 S&Y yard. But here it is. You have guys, people that is actively saying that people like myself that is on a level 4 general population mainline yard, are in fact the pieces of crap that them guys over there on the S&Y 50/50 yard supposed to be labeled. Nah, they saying those are the good guys over there now. And the guys on the level 4 yards don't go over there because all they do is politic and they this and that. They want to see y'all in prison with life, with a lot of time, because they got a lot of time. This is how these people are campaigning. And then in the same sentence, they would say somebody like me have a platform that would come on and glamorize jail and prison, jail, and gangs. Right? By allowing the people to know the truth. They consider that to be glamorizing in their campaign against a person that stands in righteousness on all levels. Not a person that got booted out the game unwillingly. Right? Booted out and kicked out, and that's it. Your ghetto pass is revoked, right? Now they on the outside looking bad as I don't know what. because they are thrown out with the trash, right? So being that they know they've been thrown out with the trash, and that's how everybody that comes from that community that he's from, right, is gonna look at him like, we don't want to have nothing to do with you, period. Now, everything that you're supposed to stand for, that you love, you no longer love, you hate it with a passion. So you try to paint it out in the worst picture ever. But your motivation behind doing that is bogus, because you're not trying to help the community. If you was trying to help the community, if you cared about the youth and all that, you would take your resources, your unlimited resources, clout, and infamy, to try to help one of these broken communities, rather than paint that community out this to be nothing. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm the mad one. I'm the one that's coming, that want to see these young dudes wreck, huh? I'm the one that want them to go to prison, go out and commit crimes, join gangs, so they can come sit inside of a crappy ass prison cell, right? A hot ass, I call it the concrete coffin, where you don't have control of your destiny. Your destiny is no longer in your hands. However long they say you got to be in prison, that's how long you're going to be in there. Now just imagine that, in the midst of you waiting on whenever it is, it's time for you to get out. You end up passing away, waiting on that day to come. Imagine that. You made all these different arrangements on what you want your future to be, and all this shit, right? And you end up passing away before you even get out. I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen. That's why they say ain't nothing guaranteed until you're actually walking through them gates. Tomorrow is never promised in prison. Then that's just the harsh reality of that existence, coming live and direct from a person that is on a level 4 general population mainline yard right now, unfortunately. That, and no, in no way, shape, form, or fashion is that me bragging about that situation. That's a horrible situation, and I've heard it described as anybody that has went to prison is a loser. That is absolute facts. That's truth. You really did lose at life once, you know, you was placed in a situation where you no longer have control of your destiny as a man, as a grown man. You can't go get a job and work an honest living, make your money, stack your money, take care of your family, be present in your kids' life. You can't do none of this shit in prison. Your life is stopped. All that responsibility falls on the hands of the people that's still out there. You feel me? That didn't make the decisions to place their gang and shit before actually being willing to do what was needed to take care of your family and responsibilities and shit. We've all lived like that to a certain degree. You feel me? But when you know better, you do better, you contribute better. You start thinking better. Period. Bryce Valdez said, much love and support for you, Brody. Thank you for the advice and guidance you provide. Quick question. Have you ever ran into Monster Cody or Lil Fee or Keita Rock? No, I haven't, Bryce Valdez. Thank you. That's a great question, man. Thank you for joining the live. Glad you was able to make it. But no, I haven't been able to meet any of those guys. You feel me? All who are historical names, you know, from their respected, you know, communities. You feel me? But no, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting any of them. However, I am definitely a fan of Monster Cody, as far as just not just because of the book and none of that, but I had the opportunity to take in a lot of his interviews, right? And I just found it fascinating the way that dude told stories. Like, it was just crazy. He had a way of making it seem like you right there in the moment with all these dudes that he's talking about, as far as the people that he came up with. When this gang banging shit first started. So just being able to take in who he was as a storyteller like that, made me become an even bigger fan of him. But no, I didn't ever have the chance to meet him or any of the other guys, bro. Jay Money said, "Thank you for answering my question. I wish it didn't take prison for us to come together and respect one another." Hey, Jay Money, hey man, see, and that's the crazy thing about prison, right? For whatever reason, once you cross that threshold and you enter into that predicament, that unfortunate predicament, right? That's when all of the realities of life start kicking in on you, right? You got to think about it. When we out and we're young, there's no time to sit down. There's always something going on. Hold on, I'm still here. There's always something going on. You feel me? And with all that shit going on at one time, you're not sitting down too much to stop and evaluate if you making all the right decisions, or you just moving, you going. The only time you stop to do anything is when you get locked up, unfortunately. You feel me? And once you get in there inside that system, it's just a whole different way of living that you have to adjust to. You have to be able to adjust to it. Whatever rottenness that you may have about you, right? And I say that respectfully because to a certain degree, we all have some type of rottenness about us. You feel me? And it takes for you to be forced to sit down to get some of that rottenness out of you in order to allow your spirit and soul to get refreshed. You feel me? So you can take in better things. You feel me? Attract better energy, give better energy. Your energy is gonna attract whatever energy you putting out. You feel me? So you just gotta be willing to purify yourself, man. Be man or woman enough to be like, I got to purify myself. I got to stop doing this, doing that. I shouldn't be told that I need to do this. Like, this is shit that I need to do as an elder. You feel me? As an elder. Jason Jones. Jason Jones say they will let you out in December. Damn. Hey. Now, Jason Jones, you said December, man. So, hey, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to hold you to that. You might have some type of telepathic way of knowing that, right? So, I'm going to hold you to that. You feel me? Everybody here at the round table too. Salute. I'm glad you put that out into the universe though, man. For real, for real. And if it happened in December, we're gonna party, party, party. Straight up. Rolling on Hunters say, exactly. We do have structure as well as unity. We absolutely do. You feel me? And that's what I find fascinating as well. People would describe us as not having as much structure and unity, right? But these are people, like I said, I don't know where some of these people do time at or where they've done time, right? I just know being around a whole bunch of people from everywhere, right? And you don't develop friendships and these type of relationships with these guys for being less than. You feel me? It just don't happen, you know. And when you see these guys reach a level of maturity, right? Like I have seen with a lot of my comrades that I've been coming back in contact with, you know, I'm not surprised by it, but it just lets me know like we was always on point back then when we was encouraging each other to read these books and study this and study that. Like, man, that's all we did and worked out. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. You feel me? Machine was always in motion when it came to that. That's just a fact. You feel me? So again, I'm just trying to figure out how the dudes that's on the level 4 general population, yours, such as myself, is encouraging the youth to go out and do anything negative, jeopardizing their freedom and their safety, only to place themselves in a bad position, such as where I'm at, or worse, in the dirt. I don't see no content creators that's purposely jumping behind their camera to consider themselves to be in good standings with their communities, right? That's doing that. I don't see it. You feel me? I don't see people, you know, well, it is recklessness. It is some recklessness out there. You feel me? Because we just covered this, what, in the last video, as far as certain things people do online that ain't cool, right? But the people that's actively out there saying that dudes, the OGs, are encouraging the youth to go do this and do that so they can come to a level 4 prison yard is BS. Or don't come to a level 4 prison yard. Go over here, but go over there, but don't mess up, because they're gonna send you over here. Well, all these dudes is on some this and all negative stuff about us, but nothing negative about where you're telling them to actually go. And where I will always be the threat at is, okay, after they tell them, yeah, go over there, they don't want the information to be out there that I'm gonna follow up with after they telling these dudes to go over there, right? They not gonna tell them what I'm gonna put out there. Hey, look, yeah, go over there, right? But this is what's gonna be expected of you. And if by chance you don't go this route, if you go this route, this is what's gonna be expected of you as well. Right? They don't want that. They don't want that information out there, put out there like that. Because I can provide all facts that's not driven by hate. This is just driven for educational purposes only. Never hatred. You feel me? To give the people a fair understanding on a topic that dudes are making sketchy as hell, because they're putting out these cross false informational videos telling these guys, yeah, go to the 50-50, but don't mess up, because if you mess up, these guys over here on the level 4 yard, right, it's gonna do this and that. So who's directing the youth in a negative route? Who? You feel me? Because Again, the last time I checked, they brag about all the stuff that's going on over there on the 50-50 yards, right? All the violence and all this and that. They brag about that, right? Oh, it's way more turned up over there than it is on the general population yard. And I say, yep, it is. It most absolutely is. And I also put out there the reasoning why it is like that, right? And I also proposed the question after I put it out there, letting the people know. I proposed the question to any of one of those guys that just so may happen to have a big platform with a big mouth, right? I asked them, I proposed the question to them. I dare them to give to us in full descriptive detail on from the time they got boot bopped and stabbed off the main line. How did that feel? Up and from that time up until living their whole life over there. This is what we want to be educated about. All that other shit, you know, the false campaign about dudes speaking on prison and the gang stuff, you know, like we're glorifying this shit, right? Man, come on. Stop playing. Stop playing. I have yet to see any real OGs jump behind the camera and do any of that. I ain't seen not one do that. You feel me? And I figured that I'm not gonna see that ever. Right? Because we all know right from wrong. Right? We know what to engage in and what not to even, you know, allow ourselves to even become attached to. Hey, that's out. You feel me? That's out. These dudes are not good chess players. They're false, you know, they got false propaganda that's driven by extreme brokenheartedness and the most bitterness that you can ever see a man be driven by. Straight up. That's a fact. That's a fact. Rolling on Hunter say it's not the OGs, it's the system, and the system is being designed to cause friction. It's as simple as this. The system is being restarted with new rules and old regulations. That is true, Brody. That is absolutely true. Marvelous Life 3X said, West Up Creek, Double M, West Side Marvin, man. Salute, Brody. I'm glad you made the live, man. Shout out to all the Marvins as well. Feel me? Send my love and respect to all my peoples, man. Jerome Brown said, what up? Tapping in from Roanoke, Virginia. That's right, man. Jerome Brown, salute. Glad you was able to make the live. We send our love and respect to you as well. Welcome to the Roundtable family, Brody. For real, for real. How y'all doing out there in Roanoke, Virginia? Jared Laws, what up, Brody? He said, if you can get at me about what I can do to JPay, these jewels you're dropping are worth something. Man, hey, I appreciate that, Jared Laws. For real, for real. I appreciate that. Much love, much respect always, man. I try to... There's no other way of doing it. You feel me? There's no other way I can ever come and present, you know, anything that I feel is less valued. I've done enough destruction in my community where I come from, and this is my way of giving back and trying to help build not just that community, but everybody else's that need this shit. Period. You feel me? And on top of that, y'all my co-hosts. So everything that y'all bring to this round table, y'all helping to build us all. Y'all educating, we educating each other. You feel me? And we are helping to build each other. And we're going to build each other. And we're going to stand strong with each other here. Point blank, period. We have an official platform for us now. Put it that way. Rolling on Hunter say, so do you think prison is basically going back to what it was before the titles? Because it was everything under the sun on them same yards, right? Then the community started to clean up yards. Yeah, that's true. Great question, man. Great. That is absolutely true. To honest to God, right? You had everything on the main lines. You had the homosexuals on the main lines. You had the dudes that indulged with the homosexuals on the main lines. You had a lot of rats on the main lines as well, right? And they was there for years. They was there for years, hidden by different things, right? So bam, as the years came and went, a lot of them dudes started getting discovered. A lot of them started getting knocked down, right? And before you know it, so many of them was getting knocked down to where it got so out of hand. Listen. The same rules, regulations, and guidelines that I live under, for the people that said that I'm institutionalized, right? The same rules, regulations, and guidelines that I've been living under for all these years. It's the same shit that was getting a lot of them dudes knocked down and caught up to them. It got so out of hand now. The people that was getting knocked down when they had to close down whole prison yards to open up to have a new space for these dudes. It was so many of them getting knocked down for violating one of those same rules, regulations, and guidelines that I've been living under for all these years. Facts, right? So bam. When you say that it's going to be a reset, there's a possibility that they can reset things, right? However, if the majority is all people, right, that think that the guys on the level 4 is the pieces of crap and the guys on the 50-50 or the stand-up guys, right, hey, we'll get smothered. Just like how they trying to do right now on these platforms, with these big platforms, and have access to all these big platforms, right? That's their campaign. That's their whole push. You just got to pay attention to the what they're saying. Pay attention to their mannerisms and all that. You can see the practice in them. You feel me? Straight up. We come here live. We come here live. We try to show up live so our people can, the mannerism don't change here. You feel me? Straight up. The same passion, the same baritone, the same everything. You feel me? Bryce Valdez said, yeah, Monster had a unique way of storytelling. Thank you for answering my question, fam. Appreciate you. For sure, Bryce Valdez. I love and respect to you, Brody. Love Bug say, you ever ran into 4-leaf or 4 extras from 40s? No. I in all honesty, right, when I was in New Folsom State Prison, right, I was on the yard with a whole bunch of them guys from neighborhood rolling 40s, right? And I just remember like a name having an X in it, right? So I don't know if it was one of them, I probably would have remembered. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't believe I've been in prison with any one of them guys. Love Bug. Raymond Skull said, bro, your commentary is similar to the Bub from 7-4 Hoover Under the Groove podcast. The live chat be lit. You're on the same page we be on in that chat. Salute to that. Hey, Raymond Skull, that's actually a podcast that I checked out a few times, and I like that podcast. You feel me? Bro be on point. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Under the Groove podcast. I've went through there a couple of times and checked him out. You feel me? Straight up. I'm a fan of it. See, y'all, again, I'm not like a lot of these other dudes, right? I'm not finna sit in front of y'all. I don't be on YouTube like that. I don't watch this and I don't watch that. Man, I watch everything. Whether I come and say something, if I watch everything, you got to know the playing field. You feel me? You got to know it, man, through and through. I was taught, always keep your ear to the ground, so you will know, you know, uh, people gonna let you know who they are by, it's many different telling things that will give them away. You feel me? So I just watched the whole playing field. Raymond Scott said, I'll be tapping in with the round table more also. I've done content too. It's dope. YouTube, Raymond Scott 102. Hey, I'm going to go check you out, Brody. I'm going to go check you out, Raymond Scott. Believe that. Raymond Scott 102. I'm going to definitely go check you out. He said, I paroled in November 2008 from Kern Valley, D-Yard. 50-50 yards didn't exist then, and you were going to get with the program. Dudes weren't tapping out then either. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Raymond Scott. All this shit is new. You feel me? That's what people were failing to realize. Like, this shit is new, bro. Like, you didn't have a lot of dudes that was tapping out, that was going like that, right? And once they introduced the 50-50 thing into play, that was a soft way of they trying to ease in the program, right? Of saying you've worked your way down to be able to go over here and coexist with these people that they can't fill out no paper and say they're not PC no more. Once you PC, that's a wrap, right? They can't fill out nothing to say, okay, I don't want to be PC no more. Send me back to the main line. It don't work like that. But how they getting dudes is they saying, we're dropping you down in custody. We're gonna give you the opportunity to go down to one of these lower level yards where you can get certain certificates and all this and that, right? That'll be a better look for you when you go up for parole. You will have a better opportunity at going home, right? This is the spiel. Bam. So, bam. Dudes, either you're gonna go for that or not. You go for it, yeah, I can go coexist with them, Bam, you fill out that paper, signing your life on the dotted line, and you go over there. Once you over there, now you are considered PC because you filled out paperwork to go coexist with them. You are considered PC, bro. Okay, so once you go over there, you can't go over there whether you broke a rule by deciding to go over there, for one. Nah, he didn't have bad charges on him. He didn't have this. He didn't have that. His custody level just dropped and they sent him. That's how he got over there. He decided to stay. Or he decided to say yes when it was proposed to him if he wanted to go or not. And they told him, look, this is who over there. If you saying that you want to go over there and you can coexist with these people, sign right here on the dotted line. Once you sign, you are an official PC. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know. You knew. It was explained to you. You knew. And you still did it. So you wanted to go PC. But you're not thinking, oh, I'm finna go over here and mess up and they're gonna send me back. How am I gonna be looked at once I get back? How you think you're gonna be looked at once you get back? Because you signed your John Hancock saying that you can go, making you a PC. So no, you can't go over there, coexist with them, and then mess up and come back and think that it's going to be all. Why should you have an exception? Why? You signed on the line saying you was going PC, period. But here it is, you would have people saying that we The people on the level 4 general population mainline yards, they ain't broke no rules, regulations, or guidelines, should be looked at as the bad guys, and these guys that's over there on them yards should be looked at as the good guys. Since when? Somebody please help me understand that logic. I'll forever be lost on that one. Lovebug said, if you're on an active 4 yard, ain't no preaching. Because when it goes up, all that's out the window. Yep. Straight up. Wizard said, Do-Ra Creep has the authority to speak on active level 4 yards, COs. He's done hard yards in style. Walk the walk. All day, every day. Straight up. David Russell said, PC equals pretty convict. Oh, man. Raymond Skull said, I personally feel that CDCR is eventually going to designate all yards 50-50. They always employ their own tactics to control the prison population. Yeah, I feel for the day they try to start it on the level 4 yards, man, because some people was going to absolutely lose their lives, unfortunately. And no, that's not me encouraging violence. That's not me crying out to the people for violence or to respond in that type of way if by chance you're met with that type of situation. No, this is me speaking from experience of a person who's incarcerated on a level 4 general population mainline yard, by the way, currently, right? In which, by the way, that's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible being here. But I cannot lie, and I cannot keep the truth from my people. That's where I'm at, right? Bam. Being that I'm here and I understand what the rules, regulations, and guidelines is, for that's like a foreign thought to even think as a possibility of them even trying, because those of us that's in this environment know what's gonna happen, right? Which is why the administration hasn't tried it yet. I mean, they made attempts in different situations. I remember shit. When I was in SADF, New Corcoran State Prison, SADF, the C Yard. Them trying to slide a couple of people in, right? Each and every time a person hit that yard that wasn't supposed to be there, they was met with extreme, fast, and swift, violent hostility of the worst kind. And that wasn't just one race that was functioning like that, right? That was all races, right? Which is why the way that it was set up was like, all right, we know y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. Do what you gonna do. You feel me? But try to keep some of it like out the spotlight, which opened up other doors and avenues. So now you just got people just getting boop bopped all over the place. Boop bop, bloop, bloop, boop, blop. That's prison. That's prison. David Russell said, respect to your honesty. Respect to you, David Russell. I appreciate you, Brody. He said, the way of life changing. Absolutely. David Russ said, it's a wrap for the OGs. Daniel USMC said, and look at you, locked up, having to hide a phone. Hey, Daniel, I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's an absolute fact. That's a reality of being in an environment where you can't control your destiny, right? I'm glad you pointed that out about me being in an environment where I have to hide a phone because that is absolutely facts. That's not normal. That's what made this platform so unique within itself. It's because it's not normal. See, you pointed that out to try to be shady. I'm highlighting it because instead of me taking it as being shady, right? I'm actually taking it and utilizing it because it's the truth. And people should know that, especially anybody that's thinking about trading their freedom for prison or for jail, right? Thinking you could do this shit. Just like the brother just pointed out, I'm in an environment where I have to hide a phone, right? That's a fact. I have to hide a phone. That is a fact. Why would you want to trade your freedom to go into an environment where you can't even have a cell phone? And if by chance you do come across one, you have to hide it like a motherfucker. It's a cat and mouse game. That's a fact. We bear no shame at that being a reality. Here at this round table, Daniel USMC. Do the USMC stand for United States Marine Corps? If so, right, I would expect you to have way more decor than that. Approaching somebody that you don't even know as a means of not, you wasn't contributing that information as a means to help us or help develop our mental. Do you feel me? You did that as a means of trying to disrespect me. However, the truth can never be taken as disrespect. You just highlighted out something that's already known. That's easy pickings. We suggest you aim a little bit higher than that, sir. Here at this round table, Daniel USMC. David Russell said, hiding his phone but not hiding the game. Absolutely, man. Very, very well put. Very well put. Raymond Skull said, okay, so you're the only brother whom I've heard said CDCR has attempted to integrate those yours. Shout out to you, bro, for standing solid and holding your integrity. It takes strength and fortitude. Hey, I appreciate that, Raymond Skull, for real, Brody. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, hey, they have tried it. It would be absolutely ridiculous for them not. You have to try, right? Whether it work or not, that's a whole completely different thing. They understood once they started trying it, they had to stop it just as quick because dudes was getting effed off. It was happening too much. You're not finna, man, we finna find out about you immediately. Immediately. As soon as you hit that yard, we finna find probably before that. Probably before you even hit the, I done found out so much shit. You feel me? I done found out about stuff that done happened to dudes on the streets. Faster than some dudes on the streets done found out about shit, right? Right? So that's just how tapped in. You feel me? I got loved ones from everywhere. You feel me? So we communicate. Communication is not hard. I don't even need this. I can communicate on that tablet, right? Just, yeah, it's being recorded and all that, but it's certain things that we've already discussed, certain, we talk the way that we talk. You feel me? But the message is always going to be on point. The message is always going to be true. And what we stand at over here at this platform. And it's to educate the correct way. You feel me? David Russell said, nah, but you flipped that attempt at disrespect and made it a reachable lesson for those on the edge of trading their freedom. Yeah, man. Hey, We have to, instead of addressing everything as a, as like I just got to go, and smash on this dude. No, you don't have to do that. Everything don't have to be about that. You feel me? Especially when he didn't say nothing that was false. His attempt was to make me mad and frustrate me more than anything. But you used the wrong thing. That you pointed out the obvious. You feel me? So yeah, we don't veer away from the obvious. It's just we want to make it known that your attempt was obvious. You feel me? That's it. That's all. Raymond Scott said Daniel was being condescending. He absolutely was. That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Which is why I approached it in the fashion that I did, right? Because him trying to be condescending, it didn't work. It didn't fly over my head. It wasn't. It didn't disrupt anything. It actually helped me prove a point that people like that is gonna always be around, always there to try to throw you off course and disturb what you got going on, right? What grown folks got going on in their time. We not over here doing none of. We not in other people's chats doing that type of stuff. It takes a special kind of person to do something like that, right? So whatever their purpose is, only God know that. But also, him doing that, it helps us. So keep it coming, man. Keep it coming. David Russell said Daniel was humbled. Now Daniel can sit down and learn something. A wise man can learn from anyone and anything, especially another man's mistake. OG is giving us game. He doesn't have to. Hey man, I appreciate that, David Russell. For real, man. You feel me? And that's all we come here to do. That's all we come here to do, man. Spread the game. I'm not the only one that come with fascinating stuff that he want to put out on the round table with the people. You feel me? We have a whole bunch of people here at this round table that come sit down with great minds, great perspectives. It is only a chosen few that will come to this round table with some BS. Like, that shit is gonna fly and it's not gonna fly. We're gonna call you up on it how we see fit. You feel me? Point blank, period. I was able to take that little situation right there, caught it right in the air like a little fly, right? Caught it. You feel me? Spent it around in my hand like this and then let it go. You feel me? Its game needed to be woke up. That's it. That's all. So that little attempt, come on, man. Raymond Scott said, this is what I was telling these cats out here in Indiana. They think we exaggerate our prison system and its politics. Although I'm older, I still respect our politics and culture. Yeah, man, ain't nothing exaggerated as far as I'm concerned. When I come on here and I talk about something, of the stories that I have come on here and told, I used to do my spin the block sessions where I would like spin the block. Like I'm going in my mind through my memory, on these YouTube streets of guys that I have ran across and developed true friendships and relationships with. Some I ain't even spoke about. Like with the homie Baby Spike from A-Tray, right? Like with Hoover Gumby. These are, come on, man. These are real guys that I know. You feel me? Real guys that I know. The 16 Lives and, you feel me? The Damian Porters. I didn't meet these guys on here. Unfortunately, we was all in the same effed up predicament of being incarcerated in prison together at one time or another. You feel me? And a lot of them has since then gotten out and was able to regather themselves and start putting their life back together. You feel me? In which we come and we, that type of thing right there, we honor and salute to the highest degree here at this round table. And that's with any homie. You feel me? Just like bro said, he been out of prison all these years, but he still respect the culture, and you know what I'm saying? Because You know, bro. You know, right? When the rules and regulations of all this stuff was set in stone, it was set in stone for a reason. You feel me? And once dudes start following through on the things that they were supposed to follow through upon, politically wise, and more of those dudes start ending up over there on that side of the fence, right? Now it's like, okay, the club is exclusive as a motherfucker now because everybody is not invited in. You're gonna get an opportunity to prove if you're worthy to be part of that unfortunate culture club, right? However, everybody ain't invited. Everybody won't be accepted. Everybody is just not gonna make the cut. A lot of dudes is better. A lot of dudes is better dress up gang members than they are actual gang members. We got to start giving people giving people their flowers when it comes to that, and stop giving them the statuses that they don't deserve. You feel me? Don't mix a good dress up gang member with an actual active gang member. Those are two different people. Those are two different realistics. You feel me? Straight up. David Russell say, we respect the game and appreciate the time. Continue your journey, OG. May God bless you and continue to guide you and grant you freedom soon, man. Salute to you, David Russell. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. You feel me? Hey, and I feel like that time is coming, for me to be extricated of this, you know, imprisonment. The time is coming, man. So when I find out the information to all that, I'm sharing it with y'all. We're going to chop it up here on live. You feel me? Right here at this round table. So when I find out anything, y'all going to find out. You feel me? Raymond Scott say, now is the time to facilitate the uplifting of our culture and push to reinforce rules through education and structure. This can bring about unity amongst us. That is so true, bro. I agree. Raymond Scott, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Real talk. Jared Law say, jealous of my brother receiving much love inside than he can hope to garner in the free world. Salute, man. Salute, Jared. Beach Boy, salute, Brody. Glad you was able to make the live. I send all my love and respect to you as always, my brethren. Raymond Scott said, Creep, there's been a surge in overt racist acts and blatant racist actions towards our people. So you can have racist trolls in your live chat. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells. Free Carmelo and free you, bro. Hey, salute to you, Raymond Scott. Hey, you know what? The racist trolls always jump in the chat, right? And I know who they are sent by, and I know why they are sent. But see, we don't chase after them. They chase after us. You feel me? And what they need to understand is this: them dropping all that racist stuff, it ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna. All they trying to do is get the video flag by putting all that racist stuff in there, right? But hey, to them, the message is always gonna be on track and on course. I promise you that. My roundtable family, trust and believe, man. When I'm not spreading it, they spreading it. When we get back to it, we get back to it, and we continue on our mission. That ain't never finna be destroyed or stopped, stagnated, or none of that by none of y'all idiots that's jumping in the chat, putting that BS up in the chat, bro. You feel me? King John, what's up, Brody? Salute. Send all my love and respect to you. Sacktown, Oak Park, finest. Raymond Scott said Baby Spike and I were cellies for a while in Calipatria, D Yard back in 1999. Y'all was cellies on D Yard in 1999. In Calipatria on D Yard in 1999. Uh, 99. I was on B Yard in 1999. Baby Spike was, damn. See, we was going in and out the hole so much, right? Because I was on different yards with Baby Spike, man. I'm trying to see, in 99, I was on B Yard then. I can't remember if Baby Spike was on B Yard and went to the hole. Then I went to the hole and caught up to him on the C Yard. Then he went to the hole for that ride with the white boys. I went to the hole after that. Damn, and we was on A Yard too. Me and him was on different yards, bro. So being that we was in and out the hole so much, I can't remember. Right? I can't remember, bro. But yeah, man, Baby Spike, that's bro right there, man. That's bro, a grown man when behind these walls, right? Another very, very dangerous brother. Straight up, but was always a righteous homie, man. Always a righteous bro. You feel me? Straight up. Renee C. 209 said it's time for the older homies to extend the power of education to all the youngsters. I'm a southerner that did 15 years. Hey, Renee C. 209, salute, man. Glad you was able to make the live. I appreciate you putting that into the chat because that is absolute facts. And that's something that we aspire to do here, right? On this platform is to build, extend, and build bridges between the young and old and whoever, right? Because in order for the two to understand each other, one can't be looked at as just ultimately right. You feel me? You know, you know, it has to be communication, man. It has to be understanding of, you know, of you know, certain aspects of history. You feel me? And then the young can bring the old up to date with the ways of how the youth is out there right now. Because in all honesty, they live in different times and in completely different fashions than a lot of us is used to. I know I see a lot of stuff. I'll be like, ain't no way we was getting down like that. You feel me? Like, for instance, I have to use this as an example, right? But I posted it on my Instagram of the guy that was digging up his op's grave. Digging it up, right? He went to the cemetery and started digging that man's grave up after he got popped, right? Well, within 24 hours of that young man doing that, he lost his life in the same fashion of the guy that he was digging up. Less than 24 hours before he got popped. You feel me? So it's that level of disrespect that I see that I'm like, damn, like, you know, but Raymond Scott say Devil from 5'9" Hoover was there too. He absolutely was there. Ms. Golden said justice for Corey Ruiz. Ms. Golden, who is Corey Ruiz, please? Update us on who that is. Raymond Scott said they had just came off lockdown for a stunt with the Mahindas. My homie Lil Coop from 120 Raymond was there in our block too. Mm. Renee C said prison is not a place to spend their youth. It absolutely isn't. It absolutely isn't, Brody. And take that from a person that I came in prison when I was fresh 18, right? Fresh 18 and just thrown in there. Now, my time of doing jail time before that, juvenile, I was in juvenile hall and juvenile camp, right? Juvenile hall and juvenile camp, man. I had just got out of juvenile camp. I was 18 when I got out of that. Fresh into from juvenile camp, fresh into the prison system. All in one motion. So from a very young age up until the present now, all those years invested behind these prison walls and account for absolutely nothing. You feel me? So if I'm telling you, and I'm sitting here on a level 4 prison yard, right? And I'm telling you certain decisions that you may find yourself making, in that life, it's going to lead you one or two places if you make the wrong decision based on your decision making, right? One of them can definitely be right here where I'm sitting at, where I've been sitting at all these years. And the other is up under the ground. So I figured if by chance you just so happen, and again, we're not glorifying jail, prison, gang banging, and none of that, but if you just so happen to be one of the unfortunate fools that trade your freedom for a jail cell, for a prison cell, right? Because that's exactly what you are, as a fool. After you are given basically these videos as cheat sheets for y'all to help and assist you through, if you, whatever you decide to do in life, if it revolves around this gang banging shit or this jail shit, right? But we're going to give you all aspects of the game, and it's going to be up on you to do whatever you please to do with it. We're not forcing anything. Educational purposes will always be top tier here at this round table. Beach Boy said these youngsters' disrespect is on a different level. I think it's these new drugs they be on. It absolutely is. They put fentanyl in everything now, Beach Boy. So just imagine if you already have mental issues. A lot of these young dudes have mental issues as well. A lot of their mamas and daddies was smoking, you know what I'm saying? The sherm and all that shit. They was smoking that while they was pregnant with the kids, unfortunately, right? So a lot of these kids come out with mental issues, extreme mental issues. So just imagine you got mental issues, extreme mental issues, and you mix that with some type of intoxicant that enhances that whatever you're dealing with mentally, right? Enhances it 5 times as worse as it could ever be. You feel me? So, yeah, I believe that, man. Drugs play a major, major big part in how a lot of these young dudes is getting down as far as the level of disrespect that I see. You feel me? Especially, but man, when you disrespecting the deceased, I look at that as just like being some spiritual type shit, man, where you gonna burn in eternal. You talking about purgatory. You feel me? Your God is gonna punish you in the coldest kind of way. Purgatory is, man, that might be showing you love. That's crazy. Miss Golden said a racist cop shot him in the back of the head 3 times on the ground. Well, actually executed him after a woman cop already tasered him. Oh. Damn. I think I seen something on that, man. Is that the same case where they said he had like a knife or something, and they was wrestling around with him on the ground, and he ended up getting shot in the midst of them wrestling him around on the ground? I didn't know if that's the same thing. I didn't know he got shot in the head, but that's crazy. That is crazy. Raymond Skull said, "Peace to you, creep. I'll tap in again. What times do you go live, homie?" Hey, I appreciate that, Raymond Skull, man. We typically go live at like 4:40. You know what I'm saying? We try to stay on the same time frame every day, man. When we do it, so around 4:40 every day, bro. But I'm definitely gonna go tap into your channel. You feel me? And see what you got going on over there, and definitely be in full-fledged support. You feel me? Much love to you, bro. Glad you was able to make the live. Salute to you, Brody. Yeah, man. Hey, I want people to understand this, right? This is what I want people to understand, man. And I don't have a problem with continuing to point this out to people. I promise you. Miss Golden said yes. They tried to say he cut an officer, but he didn't. Okay, okay. Yeah, I seen that on the news this morning, and I actually seen like a couple of different videos. They had like different angles of it when they were showing like different officers, I guess, responding to it, in which they said none of them had their body cameras on. Another situation that involved the officers and a black, and they didn't have a body camera on, right? So when these shootings happen, you got all these officers on one person tasing him, and then you got several other officers that's holding him down. Some got his arms, some trying to get his legs, and all this and that, right? Even if he is putting up a struggle, that's all these officers against this one man. Then next thing you know, he end up shot, and the justifiable shooting is gonna come where this knife just magically just appeared out of nowhere, and they said that he tried to attack them with it. Crazy. Salute to all my peoples in the chat, man. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, man. But this is what I wanted to point out, man. Then I'm gonna get up out of here myself. But it's not the OG's fault. You can't blame all the OGs for whatever destruction that's going on in whatever community. You can't point at all the OGs for the failures of these YNs, because it's not all the OGs' fault for that. You cannot point the fingers at all the OGs for standing on the code of ethics that they were sworn to always stand on. You cannot point the finger at the OGs and say that they are in fact the pieces of crap. And these guys on these SNY yards are the superheroes, or the good guys. Right? It's not gonna happen. Even in any attempt that any of y'all may try to throw out there and spin it like we're coming and glamorizing prison and jail and all that, right? Follow up with something that y'all are actively doing in the community to make the community better if you're going to campaign that way. Whatever you guys are contributing of worth, to the community, besides running the same smear campaign over and over again, blaming the OGs, saying that the OGs want these young dudes to go to prison and have life sentences and be on these level 4 yards with them, right? This is your plan of attack. To anybody of conscious mind, you would have to question, well, damn, they always said that they was gonna stand on this and that, and they actually did. They never broke no rules. They never went against any of the guidelines. You feel me? So how is they wrong about anything? You know, and these guys over here are looked at as the heroes. How? When they selectively lay up with the same sex. And YouTube, this isn't bullying, harassing, or targeting anyone for their sexual preference. This is strictly for educational purposes, right? To educate the people about the realisms of a 50-50 SNY PC yard, right? They indulge in same sex, and again, to each his own, if that's what you choose to do, right? We actually encourage you guys that is into that, right? Live in your truth, come out. Like we had to force a couple of zesty bloods that's over there on those yards. Okay? But when y'all are pointing the finger that the guys on the level 4s, that they saying that the OGs want all the YNs to crash out, catch life sentences so they can be on the level 4 yards with them, right? And is encouraging the young dudes to go to the 50-50s where the same sex, you feel me, and the dropouts, you feel me, it's all occupying these spaces, as well as the people that SA women. We know what SA mean. All of them is over there. SA children. All of them over there. So any of y'all that have pride about being a parent, a mother or father, you have pride about it. You look in your kids' eyes every day and love them and will do any and absolutely anything to protect them from any of the evils that dwell on this earth in life. You would go to no ends to protect your children, right? So you can't possibly tell me, any of y'all, that you would be good, because it's just like you had taken your children that you love so much, right? Taking them and handing them, giving them to a person that has all bad intentions for them, right? That has a sweet tooth for young candy, right? Bam. You might as well take them and hand them to them. If you, in fact, are willing to go coexist with these type of people that will take any opportunity at hurting or harming the children that you looked in the eyes and said that you love so much. Keep it real. Keep it real, people. You cannot tell me that you would be cool with that. I don't know nobody that would be cool with that. The police don't even want these type of people living next door to them. Why are y'all expecting me to not uphold the same standards? Whether I'm in prison or not, I'm not supposed to live up to the same standards as the people that's upholding the law? I mean, hey, make me understand it, people, please. Vandal, what's up, Vandal? Vandal said hello, Dude Rock and Crew just popped in to say hello. This is Vandal. FB Mendez had a name change and will catch you very soon. That's my bro, man, from over at the Chaos Chronicles. My boy Biff, man. Salute to the Chaos Chronicles. Salute to my boy Vandal. Salute to my boy Biff. Salute to my boy Wizard. Salute to the whole Chaos crew, man. Everybody out there in Australia, they showed me nothing but love, and embraced me wholeheartedly, man. So that's definitely extended family out there in Australia, man. Salute to all of y'all. Yeah, man, but I mean, hey, that's just me pointing out factors to y'all, right? When it comes to these guys blaming OGs, right? That has broken no laws and stood on all business, right? We being painted out as the ones wrong for standing on those on that business and allowing y'all to understand what it is, what's expected. This is what it is if you make this decision. This is what this is if you make that decision. In no way, shape, form, or fashion is that glamorizing a lifestyle. That's updating you and letting you know the real. They don't want you to know the real, so they try to say you're glamorizing that shit. Who in their right mind would glamorize this? Who would glamorize telling people, hey man, hey, go F up your whole life, go gang bang, go do all that dumb shit that you heard me do, that dudes may be talking about in war stories and shit. Go do it. I want you to go outshine my name. Go fuck up your own community. You feel me? And man, come on, man. Makes no sense. I would never stand behind anybody that move with that type of spirit. Just like I'm not standing behind anybody that had to get kicked out of what they pledged themselves to. You got kicked out, you was forced out, you was forced over to the other side, meaning SNYPC 50-50. You was forced over there. Once you got over there, then you had this epiphany about how you hate gang members, how you hate gang banging, the same things that you once loved and honored. The same rules and regulations and guidelines that I live up under, you lived up under too. You honored all that shit the same way that I did. But once you got forced out and kicked out, that is when you had your epiphany. That didn't come from the standpoint of honorable discharge. That means your name, credibility is absolute boo-boo. Thumbs down. Busterism, its highest degree. Unrespected at all. No respect, no regard, no nothing. That's what that means. But y'all mean to tell me that these people that is definitely living up under that shit status is better than I? When? Stop it. This is news to me. Me and my peoples, we want to understand it here at this round table. Make us understand that how these people over here is greater than us. How? We ain't broken no laws. We ain't laid up with men. We don't have bad charges on us. We not breaking no laws, disrespecting people, getting in debt. How we the ones that's wrong? But here it is. You got those that's actually doing all those things, laid up with men. And again, hey, we're not targeting, we're not harassing, bullying nobody for their sexual preference. This is strictly for educational purposes, right? We're educating the people about the real lives of the people on the 50-50 SNY yards, right? They have same-sex situations around the clock over there, right? That's a fact, right? Um, they go to war behind them same sex situations. One dude is in love, another dude is in love. All this is in relation to men. Bam. It takes their whole little cliques to war with each other, right? Over same sex relationships. And again, this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion harassing, bullying, or targeting anybody for their sexual preference. This is only to educate about what really happens on the SNY PC yards. That these guys would have their youth believe is cool to go and coexist. They want y'all to do this knowing yet y'all in fact have kids. That if given the opportunity and chance, these same people that they asking y'all to go coexist with would do anything that they sweet tooth would allow them to do if they was given the opportunity to do it to one of your kids. That's a fact. Wizard said they got nothing on you, brother. Point blank, period. Man, salute, Wizard. Man, we just, we want people to know the real. Since they are campaigning so strongly, hey, we can hit them with the truth. The truth is the truth. Point blank, period. Feel me? Miss Golden said, I'm not saying nothing anymore, love. Well, we finna get up out of here anyway, man. I'm finna let the people get back to their night. You feel me? I appreciate everybody that was able to tap into the live tonight. Everybody that jumped in the chat, participated. The message is always going to be on point. The message is always going to be the message, man. You feel me? Ain't no way in hell we going to be looked at. The real OGs that didn't have to get an honorable discharge to want to see better in our communities and in this gang culture, period. You feel me? We didn't have to get an honorable discharge to start wanting to see change or allowing our minds to change. You feel me? Our ways of thinking and our perspectives on stuff and what we want to contribute to the game. We didn't have to get an honorable discharge to have an epiphany. On what we wanted to put into our communities rather than take out and destroy. Where do we fit in at to try to help rebuild some of this shit that we helped destroy? Where do we fit in at on it? But whatever we are able to contribute, we finna do that. Even if it means starting through these videos. You feel me? Nah, y'all can't paint a fake narrative on the righteous and it fly because it ain't. Point blank, period. Shout out to everybody in the chat, though, man. I appreciate all my Roundtable family, man. Wizard said, great live, brother. Salute to all the Roundtable legends. Till next time, man. Greatly said. Much love to all of y'all. My beautiful woman, Miss Golden. I'm glad I had all of y'all here at this Roundtable with me, man. I need all my Roundtable family to do this. Make sure the people that's in your life know that you love and appreciate them while you can, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. You feel me? We waste too much time on pettiness, when we got so much greatness to look forward to and to get to. We cannot forget that. You feel me? We cannot forget that. Our blessings, man, is going to be our blessings. You feel me? Stop living outside of those blessings, man, and start living within them. Start appreciating and honoring those blessings more. Because guess what? When you no longer have them, you're going to wish like hell, like, oh, man, that was a blessing to me. I ain't even know it. It was too late now and it's gone. You feel me? But look, on that note, yeah, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here. Love and appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe out there. I love y'all. I want all my Roundtable family back in one piece next time we meet at this Roundtable, man. On that note, y'all take care, stay safe. Triple gang.